Treasury report, Mr. Anthony Finch.
Mr. Mayor, Trustee, Madam Clerk, before I get started, I want to go over something that I have prepared. I think we need a cyber audit because I believe our internet has been hacked. And the reason I say that is because I cannot believe that an email that I sent strictly to the officials that was about transparency, about a mistake that happened in the water department, was somehow leaked to Facebook. It's my assumption that elected officials are held to a higher standard, and I assume they consider themselves professional. But I'm glad that email that I addressed to those same officials back in March about how a resident who had a $12 water bill was cut off, but a resident who has a $1,200 water bill was not cut off, and I talked to him 3 times, and he said in the past, it was taken care of internally. Normally when I'm told something taken care of, you either pay it or you get on a payment plan. He chose to delete it. But that email wasn't somehow leaked. So in the name of transparency, as I've stated since I've been here, about a mistake that was made, it was put on Facebook. But I have a question to ask everyone. Who among us is God? Because from my belief, God is the only one that's flawless and have no mistakes. But people made the comment that how can this mistake happen? Not only did they do that, they implied that this was the first time this mistake has ever been made. That is so untrue. Let the record reflect that back in 2018, the summer of 2018, a mistake was made regarding the water bill, where the water bill was tripled. But more unexplainable than that was in December 2017, a water bill went out that was $5,000. Not only did the person that was holding this position that I'm currently temporarily holding now address the matter, but they threatened to cut the person's water bill off in the middle of December. So again, who among us is God? A comment was made on Facebook that I was incompetent. So I had to research that word. According to Webster Dictionary, incompetent states, Webster states that incompetent is defined as not efficient in performance of a function. So I asked, in my functions, I've never been indicted. I've never erased $3 million in reserves. I've never had $1 million in unpaid bills. I've never forgotten to add a vendor to a report that was given to Cook County. I've never increased a municipality deficit. I've never implied that I took money under the table. I'm offended that somebody would hide behind Facebook, and this is a blatant defamation of my character. So I guess paying $1.5 million in 16 months makes me incompetent. Yet the previous administrator signed and approved a 14-year contract for garbage collection because they couldn't figure out how to pay that one bill. So I guess working with the police chief to get 5 cars for the price of 4 makes me incompetent. I guess receiving $64,000 back from AT&T for what they was overcharging the village makes me incompetent. But yet, this village signed an agreement from 3 different companies to have internet at the same time. Unlike the previous staff, I've been willing to stay afterwards to talk to residents about finance. I've even stayed after 5 o'clock to meet with a resident. I've opened my office to meet anytime with any trustees or resident. I don't do Facebook, and like a resident previously stated, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. To comment on Facebook when I made myself available is a cowardly act. So please, don't write that I'm mad or that I'm angry. Because when I have letters of resignation from vendors, elected officials, auditors, you don't get upset when those who don't know you think they can judge you. If I'm incompetent with a master's degree, for those that made that comment, please apply for the finance director job. Because again, like I stated before, I'm here on a recommendation. Based on the report of auditors that you guys have in your packet, you will see there was a lot of questions that they asked before I got here. So let me give you some facts. Facts. There was funds for mowing grass that wasn't budgeted. And later, the grant that was to approve the mowing of the grass was canceled by the state. I heard somebody mention about W-2 being a problem. Because of that mistake, it was $27,000 mistake that I employed had to get corrected with the IRS. I track my grants and I account for all those expenses within my budget. Fact, a fire grant was canceled because former personnel, did not submit a report. Fact, a body camera grant that was awarded was rescinded because the personnel did not send in the final paperwork. Fact, village money was removed from AT&T, from an ATM machine.
What?
But I've never been accused of something like that. Fact, in 2016, the auditor wrote, there's a long, outstanding, unpaid water bill. What was the policy and procedures that was in place then? How did those high balances not get corrected? As stated by one of the trustees in February, in just one area of town, there was over 200 houses on the shut-off list, with over $320,000 in uncollected revenue. If this happened in 2016 and I was told to address it in 2018, what was the previous people doing before I got here? We now have policies and procedures in place to address high balances. So yes, some residents are going to be upset. In your packet, you have a copy of a water bill of a deceased lady that died in 2015. As of 4/1/2018, her water bill is $1,300. So I asked, who looked at that water bill for the last 4 years to realize that that person did not live there? But yet, you'll see in that note that it was not taken care of. Fact, in 2014, the general fund was $2 million in hole. As of 2018, the village is still $2 million in hole. Fact, look at all my budgets from any municipalities I've been in, you will see significant improvement year to year. So does that make me incompetent? Fact, as part of any administration, I've never sued my co-workers or elected officials. This is going on now as it did in 2011. I've never publicly complained about a manager placing their finger in my face, not once, but twice, therefore creating a hostile environment. But I took it like a professional and I did my job, because that's what I'm here to do, not to make friends. In fact, in February, there was over 800 homes with estimated reading. Once again, why wasn't it addressed before I got here? Now that I'm addressing the problem, I become the problem. We have and we will continue to address it. In fact, when it was mentioned that AP list was being approved without time to review those invoices, I changed the policy. I made those invoices and AP lists available 1 week prior to a council meeting, like tonight. In fact, only one trustee has came to my office to look at those invoices. They are in this binder. They've been like that for the last 3 weeks. So what was all that? Smoke and mirrors? Fact, for the last several years, the board has received a financial document that only 2 of the trustees up there brought it to my attention that they noticed something was wrong. But I'm incompetent because I caught that right away. Because individuals would rather complain and not correct, I will provide 2 reports, one the old way and one the corrected way. That then they can decide which one to use. Because I don't want people saying he's changing everything. But if you change for the better, why are you complaining? Let me address something else. Trustee Grant asked me to look into something about the water from Lake Michigan, because that has been brought up several times. These are all facts that can be verified. It would cost about $19 million to get connected to Lake Michigan water. It would cost the resident on average about $105 per month in their water bill. The main problem with not getting Lake Michigan water is the Illinois Department of Natural Resources have not given Sauk Village a water allocation to get the water. But the prior administration did take out a loan to the tune that the village still owed $800,000 to EPA, which means that, based on what I've been told, water gets sampled every day, every week, it gets sampled. So therefore, if that's happening and EPA is not complaining, the assumption could be made that the water is safe. Trustee Zupan asked me about the AP list, and she was right. I did make changes, but I asked her a question. It is on the internet, and that was satisfactory. But when I look on the internet, as somebody brought up tonight, the last AP list on the internet was in December 2016. So once again, what was the last person in this position doing? Trustee Todd asked me about fire hydrant. Surprising question, because that's not my department. However, like I told you before, I do not run away from any challenges. So I found out there's 465 fire hydrants in the village of Sauk Village. Years ago, there were 67 fire hydrants that was broken. Based on what I do know, it costs $2,500 to get a brand new fire hydrant. With that number, it's going to be $167,000 to get all, if it's still the number, 67 fire hydrant fixed. So that's something you might want to consider to put in your budget. And that would come out of the water fund. Trustee Brewer, you've asked me over 25 questions. I have some of the information you questioned, but I'm not being able to get all the information that relate to what you're asking. I even looked for Public Service Committee reports to understand what the previous financial director had provided you. Because as I stated to you before, you was given incomplete information, which made it seem like certain members was not doing their job efficiently. So what I'm going to suggest, like I've done with the staff in this department, is watch. There's a webinar that will explain how government accounting actually work, how fund balance actually work, so that those questions that have been asked, I can understand exactly what is needed to get to you before. So that's what I wanted to comment about. The water bill did go out late. It was a mistake. It was corrected. Again, as I thought I was doing by letting the trustees know beforehand what was going on. But apparently, maybe people don't really want transparency. It's a talking point. I asked you guys before, let me do my job. I don't get caught up in the political stuff. I don't get caught in the personal stuff. And I don't get caught in the racial stuff. I'm just here to do my job. If you want to challenge me on my numbers, challenge me. Like I said before, I've had these invoices for 2 weeks, and nobody asked about it. So please leave me off Facebook. If you have a question, you think I'm not doing my job, come train me. I'm more than willing. I have a master's degree, so apparently you might feel that's not enough. So come train me. And that's all I want to say about that, Mayor. In your packet, you have the accounts payable disbursement list. You will see that there's roughly $158,000 in accounts payable that needs to get approved, of which $29,000 was already approved and was sent via wire to pay the loan back, to pay a loan payment to Illinois EPA. You guys can send me an email to confirm that I can do the wire, so it's approved. Also in your packet, you will see an agent report. If you look at the last page of the agent report, there's $132,000 of outstanding bills. However, if you look at your disbursement list, we are paying $128,000. So there's roughly $4,000 of bills that, as of this week, still remain to be paid. The third packet that you guys have is the particular water bill with history that I spoke of. That's $1,300 that, for whatever reason, went unnoticed as far as why we kept billing somebody that was deceased. You can confirm that by the death certificate that I attached to the back. The next report you'll see is actual numbers prepared by your auditors that you pay roughly $65,000 to $70,000 a year for. And you will see from 2014 through 2018, you have missed the budget every single year. As I get ready to prepare the budget this year, I'm going to recommend that we do not exceed $5.6 million because over the last 4 years, you have not received more than $5.6 million. The next report that you guys have is a small snapshot of what the auditors found as financial weakness within the financial department and other departments that I oversee currently. And if you see year to year, those corrections has not changed. So again, as I make policy changes, it's to address some of these concerns that the auditors have expressed before I arrived here. The next and very last one, I think you guys have in your packet, is a detailed report. I was asked to show a detailed report, but in my research of finding out exactly what the detailed report you was asking for, I noticed that in December of 2018, there was $54,000 adjusted to the garbage, there was $68,000 adjusted to the sewer, and there was $118,000 adjusted to the water. So again, what was those people doing before I got here? And that, Mayor, Trustee, Madam Clerk, concludes all my report. Oh, the one last thing I meant to say, I'm so sorry. You guys have a cash balance sheet because it was also stated that no one knows where the money is at. This is as of today. Again, as I stated numerous times before, I do not give you information that I cannot support and provide documentation. So the cash balance that you see in front of you is as of around 6 o'clock this afternoon. Any questions?
I have a comment.
Yes, you may.
Mr. Fitch, I want to thank you for some of this information. I have been working with this since May 2017. We haven't been able to get any reports. The stuff was given, we knew it wasn't right, and you know what? I'm just too elated. I mean, because we knew somebody was in that office and they didn't know what they were doing. You know, so we appreciate you giving us these answers. But for us as trustees to sit up here and get information we know is not right, and then you want us to ask to pay for something, it's not right. And so only thing I can say again is I agree with you. We were misinformed. We got all kind of stuff that didn't make sense. And I'm not accounting for anything, but we knew we was getting information that wasn't right, and it's going to take you a long road to figure that stuff out. It's a big mess back there. And if you only got 25 questions, I forgot to give you a couple then. So, you know, I mean, I'm on it. You know, they can't tell you I'm not on it. And if I don't understand something, I'm going to always ask you. Please explain that. That's what our job's too. We need to find out where the money is and what's going on. Don't take offense to anybody, but that's what we were hired to do, to find out where the money is. And we appreciate it. That's the end of my comment.
Mr. Finch, is that part of the finance? Okay.
Yep, that's financial and treasury.
Okay.